For my Wildwood Orange Room session, 3 p.m. Central Time here in Orange Room. It's where it all goes down here. I'm just going to share this to a couple of sweet portals on the internet. On the intergoogs, I'm going to share it. What do I got here? I'm writing post, I'm sharing it here. I'm writing post, I'm sharing it there. Biddle-a-doo-biddle-doo-schweedle. Those are words to live by, ladies and gentlemen. Get that tattooed on your left nostril. Biddle-a-doo-biddle-doo-schweedle. Nothing wrong with it. Oh, we are shared up. I shared the hell out of that. What's going down? Yeah, what's going on, folks out there? Today is a special day. I talked to Steve from Wildwood, and he said, you know what? With the weather being funky, things are kind of difficult to ship stuff right now. So instead of taking a chance on shipping something that might get damaged in the cold and the winter's onslaught, he said, just do some stuff on your Reverend guitars, which they have in quantity at Wildwood Guitars. They only have 2 of these rascals left, though, because they're selling like hotcakes. But they have almost all the colors, I believe, that are available. They have some special colors, too, of my Gristlemaster. They have the Clockwork Orange, both in roasted maple and in Pau Farrell. That's Will Ferrell's brother, as a matter of fact. A lot of people don't know that. No, it's Farrell. Pau Farrell. It's difficult to say. Anyway. And they also have the Wildwood exclusive black with the larger neck profile. 3-tone hotcakes. I like what you did there, Patrick. This is the new 3-tone sunburst for this 2021. I did have a link up above to one of the last remaining 2 that are at Wildwood right now. And it's just a delicious little morsel. I like it. It's a second voice I just punched in with that little button right there. Here's without it. Here's with it. am using that new Wildwood exclusive. Let me get over here again, dog. Got it. There we go. The Wildwood exclusive Jetter pedal. Oh, that's not the Jetter. Oh, there it is right there. The ODS 181. It's a Wildwood exclusive. Pretty juicy, isn't it? So the Jetter, I first knew about Brad Jetter years ago when he made a pedal called the GS124, which was fashioned after a Dumble circuit. And I use that pedal quite a bit. As a matter of fact, I used it on the Tone Control's Vivid Gristle kind of live in the studio thing that we did. Pedal sounded so doggone good, especially at low volume. It just fattens it up. I think what I like so much about these pedals, in terms of what they do that other pedals don't quite do, is they do this real fat, dumbly thing that when you're in the bridge pickup, it sounds all big, fat, and woolly. And then when you go on the middle position, or in this case, the neck position, with the three-way toggle switch, it gets real kind of almost like Warren Haynesy kind of woman tone-ish type of thing. So it's good for a certain vibe, but it sounds magnificent. So this particular one, this ODS 181, is kind of fashioned after going back and forth with the Wildwood guys quite a bit, because Steve from Wildwood had a couple different, actually at one point he had 4 Dumbles, but 2 he ordered right from Alexander himself, one of which was voiced, this is what it's voiced after. So pretty cool thing. I think they're back ordered right now on these pedals. You can check it out because I did a video on them the other day, and they must have done well. So I think you can order more. So that's a good sign. Can you dig it? So if you go to the website, you can see where these are available. The pickups on this guitar, folks, on my Reverend Gristlemaster, are the Fishman Fluence Gristletone pickups that I did with Fishman. So they are noise-free, and they have 2 voices. So that's the neck pickup. Now, if I press this button in right here, you see there's a little button in between the volume control and the tone control. Gives you a second voice. On either voice, you don't lose any highs when you turn down the volume. Voice 1, voice 2. Bridge. Voice 1, voice 2. delicious roasted maple neck. The body's made out of Carina, and these bodies are slightly larger, about 2 or 3% larger, because I was sick and tired of people going, dude, is that guitar you're playing like 3/4 size, or is it a mandolin? They have no respect for the larger individual. I'm 6'7" and a big son of a gun. So a lot of times when I play a conventional size instrument, people make comments. Because people do. People are comment makers. And so I thought, wouldn't it be fun to have a guitar that's just a little bit larger? Not so large that it would humiliate and subjugate the smaller, more diminutive individual. No, it would empower that soul. But I wanted it to be large enough that it would be more proportionate to the big son of a gun. It'll still fit in a regular guitar case. It'll just fit, it'll make the smaller individual become larger. Wow, it's a magical lariat. Hoist it like Wonder Woman's. She's got a lariat. It was gold. Wonder Woman! Wonder Woman! Sorry. It was the 70s Wonder Woman. Linda Carter. Bless her. Anyway, Wildwood YouTube is online now, says Ryan Fitz. Was there a situation? Would it be more normally proportioned to SM58, right? Mark Knight, you are a crafty soul. Wonder Woman! Oh, thank you very much. People enjoyed my Mr. Wiggles and Jammy Pants song I posted earlier today on the Intergoogles. I try to mix it up for the kids. You know what I mean? Try to mix it up. I wake up in the morning, I come downstairs, get a quick little Jammaroony in, maybe on the looper, in my jammy pants, post some pun. Hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Oh, a restream had a glitch, apparently. Okay, but now we're up. It is not roasted Carina, the body. The body is just Carina. For those of you who are tuning in late because of the YouTube situation, this is my signature model Reverend Gristlemaster in the new tone hue for this year being 2021. This is 3-tone sunburst. Dig it. So it is a Carina body, roasted maple neck, 22 medium jumbo frets. I believe it's 10 to 14 inch radius, as I recall. Locking tuners, and of course it has my Fishman Fluence Gristle-tone pickups in them, which look like regular single coil pickups, but they are actually space-age technology, ladies and gentlemen, that allows you to get 2 voices. It's not modeling. It just has, instead, I've described this before, but I'm going to describe it again, because I find that on the internet, you don't know who's just tuning in for the first time. So I apologize for those who have heard me say this many, many times, but this is for the benefit of the individuals that don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So the Fishman Fluence pickups are made with regular pole pieces, Alan Nicole pole pieces, as the case may be. And instead of having copper windings around the pole pieces, there was a guy in the aerospace industry that was used to working with these razor-thin circuit boards that you would actually have a coil printed on this circuit board. And then you stack those up as the coils around the pole pieces. What are the advantages to that, you might ask yourself? Well, those can be used to be voiced now any way that you want. So there is a preamp on board that takes that coil, and we were able to voice it exactly the way I wanted them. So, and what's nice about it, too, is you can have multiple voices. So we've got 2 different voices. One is more kind of fashioned after a, we call it a white guard telly. So more of a 60s telly versus more of like a black guard telly, which has got a little bit more gravel. And they're also noise free. So it comes, you can buy the pickup separately, and that comes with the pickups in this control panel. And because there's a preamp on board, there is a little input jack there that comes with it that also has a little mini USB input. And you charge it for an hour and a half, and you get 300 hours of plugged in playing time. Plugged in playing time. Can you dig it? How nasty will that overdrive get? Asks Carlton. He's asking about for those of you who also tuned in late, the new Wildwood exclusive ODS Overdrive, ODS 181 by Jetter Pedals. That's this one right here. Right now I've got kind of the overdrive just a hair past noon, as well as the volume. Let's turn up that gain to about 3 o'clock and see what happens. Here's full up. Clean signal. It's got that scooped kind of. Here's the EQ at like 1 o'clock here. So. Let's go down to about there. Here's 9 o'clock on the ODS 181 as far as the gain. Sounds good. It's filthy, right? It's filthy and flavorful, fat and flavorful with pHs. I like that. Michael asks, what's a good trem pedal for playing open keys slide blues? Well, it depends on what you're. There's all kinds of different trem pedals by everyone and their brother. I tend to like. I like my On board the amp, of course, I have my harmonic vibrato. I like also a Magnavibe pedal that's made by Bigfoot Electronics. I like that. There are other companies that make great stuff. I mean, there's a gajillion. The Flint, that's a good one. I've been using my own amp for that stuff for so long that I'm kind of out of the loop. Oh, someone wants an F up pedal. You know, we're going to work on that. I've been talking to Tim about making that available. We'll see what happens. It's my Octave Fuzz pedal. Puddle? Well, that too. It's an Octave Fuzz pedal. Here, I got it right here. My buddy Tim Yarning, who makes my Gristle King, I said, can you make me an octave pedal? I only use an Octave Fuzz a certain way. I want to get that Band of Gypsies kind of, you know, steel drumish type of Tycho Brahe, is that how you say it? Type of Octave Fuzz. But I usually, I usually put the volume up to about, I used to put the volume up to about 3 o'clock, and I would put the Octave Fuzz up around 9 o'clock. So they're just kind of pointing at each other. And that gives you a boost, and then it gives you a taste of that octave without it sounding like an angry transistor radio. But that's the only way I use it. And I'm like, do me a favor, make me a pedal with those controls and just take the controls off. So when I hit that button, it's just that sound. So we did that, and we called it the F up. The F up pedal. As far as I know, I am the only one that has one. But we were talking about maybe doing one. Fishman makes my Gristle King pedal, which is a clean boost and an overdrive. And so we're thinking about doing one with, I have a fuzz of Tim's that I really like. We call the F-Bomb 3, and this would be the F-Up. We put them in the same pedal. So we're working on that. We'll see what happens. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? That's a nice tune. Nice tone. Press that button and you hear that? Can't rock me. Somebody will. Doggone it. A little bit of that Stones music there for you. Hashtag greatest rock and roll band in the world. There are other bands, of course, that have great power and majesty. But, yeah. So this is, as I said, one of my Reverend Gristle Masters in the new color for 2021, which is the three-tone Sunburst. And there is a delightful link up above to one of the guitars available at Wildwood in this tone hue. Now, just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to plug in the Pow Yellow version, which is sometimes overlooked, but I think it looks phantasmagoric. Now, this was actually a guitar that I have the bigger neck profile on, so there's a black one, a version of the Gristle Master in black that has a larger neck profile at Wildwood, and when they sent me a neck to pop on to see if I liked the profile, and it ended up on this guitar, it's glorious. It's a fat, like November 56 V type of a thing. But there are other colors as well. There's Axis Purple, that's a delicious color. There is, of course, the original color of mine, which was kind of a sonic blue, and we called it Blucifer. And then there is Clockwork Orange, which is another favorite color of mine. And then the Wow Red, and then this, the Pow Yellow. Something, I guess. Second voice. get the idea. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. So this is the Pow Yellow version of the Reverend Gristle Master that bears my savage name. Again, body, transparent Carina. And you got a roasted maple neck, locking tuners, Fishman gristle tone pickups on board. Come stock, weaponized and ready to engage. And can you dig it? Pow! Yellow. We'll say the fatter neck adds a little extra something to the tone. Call me kooky. So I have a fatter neck on this one only because it was the proto neck. The neck comes larger on the Wildwood exclusive black version, and then there were some versions of the Clockwork orange ones with a larger neck profile. It says on the Wildwood website which is which. And so when you say, how big is the neck? It's a fat, like, imagine the 55U with a little bit of a V to it. And that's how big it is. It's about that. It's got a little bit of a V ski. Now, they say it's a November of 56, but it's fat. It's fat and juicy. Blucifer named after the demonic statue of the outside. Yeah, that is correct. I think I must have internalized that. When you go to Denver International Airport, there is a blue Bronco with demon red eyes. And at some point, someone named it Blucifer. Maybe that's where I got the name from when I was doing a clinic with Ken someplace out east, I believe. And in the midst of it, he's like, what should we call this color? I said, Blucifer. And so it was. So there you have it. There you have it. So again, the different colors of this, and Wildwood has, I think, almost all the colors right now. Axis purple. It is a majestic tone hue. You got this, which is Pow Yellow. You got the three-tone sunburst, which I was just playing. You've got the Blucifer, as I said, which is kind of a sonic blue, and then you got the red, which is kind of a Fiesta reddish, but a little bit more red than that. Delicious tone hue as well. But, and what was that? I just heard the sound. A lot of snow falling off the roof today, folks. Got a whole lot of snow, got a whole lot of ice. It's falling down. It's warm today. It's like 40-some degrees. Holla! So as a result, it's causing the massive shells of snow and ice on my roof to falling down, down on the ground, falling down. Falling down, down. Name that song. Who's out there? Who gets that? Who knows that song? Falling down, down on the ground, falling down. Falling down, down. I was listening to that the other day as I was exercising on my elliptical device, because walking outside during these strange days is not good when there's so much snow, so much ice, so much. That's not nice. Can you dig it? Yes. Nice out in Tulsa today. It is, Michael. I may go for a stroll a little bit later if the weather maintains. I do have a trip to the grocery store in my future, ladies and gentlemen, to get some delicious tidbits. I like what Robert says here. He says, the Boulder, Colorado area is conducive to flights of imagination. It is indeed. It is indeed, my friend. It is indeed. Now, I did want to plug in my new Gristle Master. I guess we're calling the Gristle 90. I saw an ad for someone posted an ad for it. I was like, oh, I didn't know what we were calling it for sure, but hey, I'm cool with it. Gristle 90, that works. This rascal is the one that's in Tosa turquoise. Now, the rollout of this one has been kind of weird because of COVID-19. So this guitar and the new Fishman signature P90s that I did with them, Gristle-tone P90s, everything was supposed to be out last summer for Summer NAMM. Needless to say, none of that happened because of the shutdowns and all the other malarkey going on as a result of COVID-19. And so things have taken a while to come to fruition. So these guitars, the first batch of which will predominantly go to Wildwood. So there'll be somewhere in the neighborhood of 30-ish that will arrive next month to Wildwood. Then there's going to be a couple months drought because there was a supply chain issue. And so 2 months will go by, and then there'll be a ton that will be available. And there is this color, the Tosa Turquoise. There is also a gold, and then there is a black. And they all have the delicious new P90s that I designed with our friends at Fishman, which will be available as a standalone product. One of the things that's really cool about what the Reverend guitars will have with my pickups is it will automatically have this phase circuit that I wanted to include on the aftermarket version as well. But because it's a long story, but there will be another voice that's available on the aftermarket version of the P90s that won't be available on the Reverend, but the Reverend will have a out of phase feature that will not be on the aftermarket version unless it's an upgrade we just pay extra for. So there's that. So let me just kind of go through what the pickups sound like on this bad boy. So there again, there is an on-off or a voice switch down here. Let me close up on that. Right there is the second voice switch. So on the neck pickup, we start off just kind of a nice. Turn down the volume, we don't lose any highs. Second voice. Okay. Now, when we're in the middle position, if I have the tone control down, we get both pickups. Second voice. What I like to do is I grab this tone control and I pop it up. Now, what that does is it makes me out of phase, but it also, there is a way that you can go in here and skosh back the volume of the neck pickup just a little bit, so you get that more of that Peter Green out of phase sound, which is much more usable and cool. The neck. All right, now let's go to the bridge pickup. Second voice. Add a little heat to that. get the gist. It's versatile as all heck. And that neck pickup sounds... Bridge. Check that out. The overdrive I used on that very last thing, I was using again that Jetter ODS 181, a Wildwood exclusive. It's so diggity doggone sassy. The looper is an MXR clone looper. I told the folks at Wildwood about those doggone things. Hopefully they'll get some in soon. But there it is, the Tosa Turquoise Gristlemaster. And as I said earlier, for those of you who didn't know, the rollout of these things has been a little cockeyed because of the pandemic and supply chain issues and so on and so forth. So much so that there are going to be some available next month, should be arriving at Wildwood sometime in March. Those are going to be available, and then there's going to be about a 2-month drought, and then they're going to be available again in quantity, but there's going to be about 30-ish that are going to be over at Wildwood. So, and I know some people already put a hold on them. So if you are interested in one of these guitars in either Tosa Turquoise, which this color is, there's going to be a gold and a black version. Someone asked if they all have P90s, or if they all have Bigsby's. The answer is yes. But as you can see, this Bigsby works like a champion in heat. Like a champion in heat. I would imagine at some point way down the line, we might do versions without. But for now, all the first ones that are coming out are all going to have Bigsby's. Can you dig it? Will you dig it? Flight of the no non-Bigsby yet. Correct. Aztec gold for me, please. The gold really looks good. I should have both a gold one and a black one coming here quite soon, and I can show you all the tone hues in Poison. I had a black one here a while back, but it caused confusion because there were black P90s in it, because they were prototypes for me to just suss out the sound, and I was so excited by the way that it sounded. I was using it in videos. People were like, I love the black on black. I'm like, don't like it too much, because the white ones have been allocated for the actual production version. So I would imagine at some point way down the line, you know, and I don't know when, but different iterations will be available. I'm sure Wildwood will do a separate color that is not available anywhere else, and so on and so forth. So it is an ebony neck. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention that. Maybe I didn't. It is an ebony fingerboard. The rest of the body is Carina. It is a set neck, and it is Gibson scale. And that's all there is to it. Can you dig it? Will you dig it? I wanted a Bigsby on the first ones, although it certainly would make sense to have a stop tailpiece one as well. But, you know, I'm sure at some point in the not too incredibly distant future, there will be versions without the Bigsby. But the Bigsby sounds great, and the Reverend ones are actually tweaked to work. It's not just an ornament, ladies and gentlemen. And they all have that special spring that Reeves Gabrel's hip the folks to Reverend to. That's actually from old Schwinn bike. He uses that for his Bigsby, and that allows you to do those warbles and all that kind of stuff. 12-inch radius on this one. That is correct. I am Jammy Pants. Jeff Pevar in the house. Jeff Pevar in the house. You should check out Jeff Pevar's live streams. You should post that on here, Jeffrey, what that is. It's Bohemian House, right? I'm trying to think of it off the top of my head, but Jeff and his lovely wife Inger do some beautiful duets together that rocks as well. They play along with some tracks, some loops, and it is quite excellent. And the production value of the videos I thought was fantastic, my friend. It looked great. It sounded great. I dug it. Jeff Pevar, ladies and gentlemen, guitar playing fiend. We'll be jamming again soon, Jeffrey. At some point, we will rock like warriors of old. Am I right or am I right? It's not wrong. If it's wrong, I don't want to be right, is really the bottom line. Other questions out there, have you previously owned a dual P90 guitar, Dre? That's an excellent question, Mark Knight. He's all day, he's all night. He's also KN Knight, so he's a man of who's been knighted by some kind of regal soul, I think. At some point in his family's history, he was, in fact, a knight of the realm. Can you dig it? So I take his questions, because if I don't, he'll come clad in some kind of mail and maybe behead me with maybe a mace. So I got to be careful. Anyways, I forgot what the question was. I'm dead. I always liked P90s. I remember pivotal moments with P90s. I remember when there was a 40th anniversary. This is kind of a funny story. You got a minute? 40th anniversary of the Les Paul. This would have been, 92? This came out? I'm sorry, my brain is well, it is what it is. Anyway, so this guitar came out, and it was a black Les Paul with P90s with gold hardware, and I loved it so. And at the time, I worked at a music store called Casio Music, beautiful New Berlin, Wisconsin. And there was construction going on, and so on National Avenue out there, and so we needed to let people know that the store was open. So they beseeched me to do a radio advertisement. Can you go in and do the voiceover for this thing? Of which I did in my own inimitable way. As you would imagine, I had a little bit of spice, a little bit of that sweet gristle. So the ad was quite, shall we say, attention-grabbing. And at the time, they're like, oh, well, we don't know what we're going to pay you. I'm like, and at the time, I didn't know that, voiceovers, you get $300 or something, maybe, to do something like that, maybe a couple $100, whatever the case may be. At the time, I had delusions of grandeur. So at one point, they were like, we're not going to pay anything. And at one point, oh, you're going to pay me. And I want that Les Paul as payment. It was kind of tongue-in-cheek. It's like, and Frank Casio was the old proprietor of the establishment. Which is now sadly closed. It no longer exists. So anyways, Frank Casio was an old World War II vet, and he had had a variety of different health problems, bless him, and he would ride around in this little vehicle. And he was both simultaneously humorous and terrifying. If you heard him coming around the corner, you always grabbed a cord and, what the hell are you guys doing over here? Pick this crap up. Frank. A lot of times you'd be dealing with a customer, and he'd go, hey, can you? I'm like, I am talking to someone here, Frank. Can we wait? So there was a good rapport between Frank and myself. And so I said, Frank, I want that guitar as payment for my voiceover. He goes, you're crazy. I'm not giving you that guitar. I go, I don't know, Frank. I think it's a good deal. My golden throat, resplendent on the radio, trumpeting the cause of this bold establishment. And all you have to do is hand me over the keys to that delicious Lester Paul Fizz. He goes, no way. So then I started to harass him. He'd go out, be riding on his vehicle, and I'd grab the guitar and I'd put it in the seat next to his desk. So it was like if he was having a meeting with somebody, he was having a meeting with that guitar. And all of a sudden the phone, Greg, get this damn guitar out of here. I'm like, so I was harassing him with his guitar. He was like, I want a meeting with all the warehouse people in aisle 47. I'd grab that guitar in a stand and I'd go to aisle 47, pop it right there. All of a sudden, intercom, get this God-blessed guitar out of here. I didn't get the guitar. But that just tells you what I wanted as far as a P90 guitar. I did battle, and I waged and lost. But then years later, my buddy Rick Land made me a guitar we had this guitar design that we worked on together. And I had 3 P90s in that one. He also made me a 2 P90 version that if anyone has the record that I did called Plays Well With Others, where I have a bunch of different special guests on it from, Robin Ford's on there, Paul Barrere from Little Feed, and Joe Bonamassa, and John Cleary, as a matter of fact. But on that, excuse me, wow, did you hear that? On the original recording of Hey Godzilla, I used a guitar with 2 P90s. So when you hear that snotty tone, that's P90s. So I always dug P90s, but they're noisy. And so when I had the opportunity to work with Fishman on making multi-voiced P90s that had no noise, needless to say, I jumped at the opportunity. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Questions out there in movie land. How does the addition of knit hats affect your tone? Well, by God, it makes it chunky and robust. Adds a little sweaty goodness. And my pomade permeates the yarn until it turns into just a delicious goulash of cranial substances working together to provide tone. It also covers my third eye so you don't see me staring right into your soul right through the screen. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. What's for dinner at the Koch residence tonight? A worthy question, Michael. After I get done with this very broadcast, I am going to the grocery store, and I'm going to pick out some items. I think we might engage the grill tonight to celebrate the above freezing weather. And we're thinking turkey burgers. Doesn't that sound delicious? Turkey burgers. Eric Gale says the hat adds 37% more tone. I like it. I like that kind of math. Paul says a person of my stature could pull off a signature double neck. Well, we'll see about that. We'll see about that by Jiminy Jangle Jingle. The hat adds chorus effect, indeed. It's the tone. I don't have the tone slippers on today. I got my sneakers. Got my sneakers on today. Speaking of sneakers, I'm going to tell you something weird because we're getting to that part of the show. It's almost over. And the other morning we woke up and it was me and my lovely wife and my youngest son in the kitchen. And I said, any weird dreams last night? And usually I always say I didn't remember any dreams, but I remembered this one. Folks, I got to tell you a little story about the shoes in my house. I'm always looking for my shoes. Okay? All of a sudden it's like, oh, you got to take the garbage out. Where are my damn shoes? Looking all over the place. Where are my damn slippers? Can't find them. I'm always screwing up. Can't find my shoes. So the other night I'm having this dream, and I was listening to the Stones before I went to sleep. Been doing a little listening to old, like early 70s Stones, like Goat's Head Soup, and It's Only Rock and Roll. Can you dig it? And I was listening to that as I went to sleep. So I had this dream that I was Mick Jagger. I was backstage at some sports arena. It looks suspiciously like some of that footage of the Stones backstage in 72 where they're in some kind of sports place and Keith Richards is like nodding out on a sports bench in the locker room. But I'm Mick Jagger and I'm in this thing and I'm like, I know I'm me, but I'm actually Mick Jagger. And of course, the first thing I'm thinking of is not where are the groupies, where's the Merc? I'm like, where's my shoes? And then I was even more perplexed of what kind of shoes does Mick Jagger wear? It's not going to be a sneaker. Is it going to be some kind of frilly Carpizio weird dance shoe that he wears to do those moves? I'm like, I don't know. So I'm looking around, and the whole time I'm thinking, is this what it's come to? And then I woke up. So that's the dream I had, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. I don't know how I got there, but there you have it. Everyone needs to be Mick Jagger for a night, and in my case, I was a shoeless Mick. Shoeless Mick Jagger looking for some shoes. Where they are they? I got a show to do is what I'm thinking. I'm a professional. I'm not going to let Mick down as I take over his body. I'm going to find some shoes and go out there and shake it out, shake it out. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. What are you going to do? Can you dig it? Woo! There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So, anyways, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. It was a fun day of messing with the Gristle Masters and talking about them. Gristle Master with the B-Bender. I thought about that too, Dave. We'll see what happens. I've been a little reticent to use the B-Bender as of late because it torques my back just the right way there. I don't know what it is. And then I think, I'm in better shape now. I've been doing my back exercises. Maybe I can use the B-Bender again. And then I'll use it and it'll be fine. And then like 24, 48 hours later, it's like, Mr. Back says, remember that little place right in your back, a little stabbing pain? Only with the B-Bender. The only time I get back spasms of that level is from the frickin' B-Bender. So you got to figure out something about that doggone thing. Can you dig it? All right, folks. We'll see you cats later. Going to the grocery store. We'll see you on Thursday. Adios, friends.